I am Dr. Carey Pabaway Sigafoose, and of course we have Chris Burfield. Most of you know us. Some of you who might not have been on one of our webinars before might not. This webinar is to help you get the most out of your Sigafoose Weekly membership and to learn and see how you can not only bring more chiropractic philosophy to yourself, but also into your office, including your staff and your patients. Sigafoose Weekly is not just about philosophy. It is a great training tool for you and your staff. So with that, I'm going to give you the whole breakdown of everything. One of the very first things I want to talk to you about is the Facebook page. And believe it or not, the Facebook page is, in my opinion, one of the most valuable tools that comes with Sigafoose Weekly. And the reason I say this is it's this place where we all can interact with each other. And as I always say when I welcome you, where we can share our successes and our failures. And one of the things that I do on the Facebook page on a daily basis is I do a daily post, and I also do a daily affirmation. Now, my daily posts usually are my morning rants that I wake up thinking about, and it's usually about overcoming fear and focusing on you and your practice. It's very important that you read those, because these posts aren't just basic thoughts. They're ways that you can connect more with yourself and with the philosophy of chiropractic, with your patients and with your family. And a lot of it has a lot to do with breathing exercises, because in my father's seminars at the Sigafoose Systems, when you would go to one of his seminars, they focused all on breathing and primarily overcoming what is keeping you from being the doctor, being the chiropractor, being the person that you truly want to be. And by overcoming these fears, it allows you to explode and go into basically a higher level practice, a higher level of understanding of not just you, but yourself and your surroundings. And the second thing I post on a daily basis is the daily affirmation and how to use them. Now, I don't know if anyone realizes that those affirmations I create, I'd say 90% of them. Some of them I steal from other people. Some of them are actual pictures that I've taken that some of you guys have taken. But I do the daily affirmation for you to actually take and print. You can print that up on a daily basis and have one every day at the front of your office for your patients to see. And it's just really about overcoming, again, different obstacles and giving you motivation, and not just you, but your patients' motivation and support. So print those up on a daily basis, put them in a frame, and have your staff change them on a daily basis. So there's something always new that gives you a leeway into discussing not just, hey, how you doing? How's the dog? How's the kids? But focusing on a positive mental attitude, and not just for you, but for your patients. So that's one of the tools that I've been doing for now 160. There's 160 different daily affirmations on there. So if you haven't been using them that way, it's a great tool for you to go back and use it. And I do imprint the Sigafoose.com logo on there now, because a lot of the stuff that I'm blogging about now on Sigafoose.com is stuff that your patients can go and read. And it's really, really important that you guys actually go and you read the stuff that's on Sigafoose.com on the blog, because that's stuff that you can share. And as Chris always says, using social media to market yourself and your practice, these things are awesome tools that you can share on your social media, on your own website, and everything that I write and print. You have my permission to use them on your own websites as well as articles to I don't know, to populate your own blogs if you like. So you have my complete and total permission to do that. And any tool that Chris and I can create that can help your social media and your websites become more interactive and live and more educational for your patients, the better. Would you agree with that, Chris?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to do a quick interjection here. Carrie made a really good point that you could go to the blog and you could literally take an article if you wanted and copy it and re-upload it to your own blog and maybe even put your own little spin on it, right? For example, Carrie did last year, he did a blog post on vaccines. And oh my gosh, Carrie, what did it ended up like? It was the numbers were crazy. It had how many?
22,000.
22,000 likes.
Yeah.
It got shared all across social media.
Thousands of
it created some controversy. I mean, there were people that came on and hated on it, and there were people that came on and loved on it. Mm-hmm. But you could take something like that has already been proven to go viral and do it on your own website, send an email out to your patients about it. And who knows, maybe it starts spreading through your community and now your website's getting a lot of attention.
Exactly. So those tools, just from the very beginning, the Facebook page, my daily blog post on my Facebook page, the daily affirmation on the Facebook page, the blog posts that are on sigafoose.com, as well as the episodes that I create on Sig Talks, which we have a website as well, sigtalks.com, that you can download. And, you know, my father's philosophy stories aren't just for the chiropractor. They're for the whole entire staff and for patients to listen to, because my father talked in a very layman's term when it came to explaining chiropractic. So those are the first, you know, major points. So using the Facebook page, using the sigafoose.com, using Sig Talks, are all these are tools that you get to use as Sigafoose Weekly members with 110% of my permission to use and duplicate them and reuse them on your own website as well. So I don't think a lot of people knew about that, and I really wanted everyone to understand that. And the importance of reading that daily post and comment on it. Comment, ask questions, agree, disagree. That's what the forum that we've created on Sigafoose Weekly Facebook page is for. Going over the next one is the primary thing that probably brought most people in here was the weekly consultation call and how to use them. Now, the weekly consultation call, I'm going to go ahead and share a screen with you guys here. So let's get this open here. Give me a second. I'm not as adept at this technology as Chris is. Okay, so share screen. So you should be seeing Chris now. And here we go. So right here is basically the members area that we've created for you. You can see in each week you're getting a brand new consultation call. And so far we have 30 of them, and there's hundreds of them, but this gets us through the first 30 weeks. And I think it's about time to actually add some new ones almost, Chris, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we're at week 23 or 24 right now. So yeah, I usually do them out because it's so time consuming to add all that stuff. So I do them in chunks, but I keep a close eye on it. Yeah.
The second area is right here, which is the higher ground video. So there's a total of 6 of those videos, and those come out after 30 days. I mean 0 days, 30, 60, 90, and so forth. So the longer you're with us, the more of the videos you're going to get. And then the next grouping is we have the 10 hours of Sigafoose, so one of his best audio presentations. And then the last thing I've added is the 28 days to a new you, and I'll go over that later. But to use the consultation calls is let me X out of this. There we see. Did it X out? There we go.
Yep, you're back.
To use the consultation calls, the way you should be using them, one, of course, is when you get the reminder to open them up and listen to them. But share them with your staff. You know, I don't know if you all are using, like, having office daily meetings or pre-day meetings, but these consultation calls are for you, not just for you. The philosophy that's in them is for your staff, because if you don't bring your staff, your entire staff into the philosophy of chiropractic and what your plan is and what your goal is, you're missing a huge opportunity to educate them. And these consultation calls are educational tools, not just for you, but for your entire staff. So share them with your staff.
That's a great point, Kerry, because I can't even tell you how many times I've heard doctors over the years say things like, oh, my staff just doesn't get it. My staff doesn't understand chiropractic. My staff, you know, it's just like, well, then you know, if you're not teaching them, somebody has to. And I think Sigafoose is a great place to start.
I agree. So that's the consultation call. So if you guys have any questions about how to use them and how to incorporate them with your staff, then of course, you know, write down your list, write up pen and paper, and we'll answer those questions at the end. The list I have to talk about is not that long, so we'll get to the questions soon. But the next thing I want to talk about is the Sigafoose Systems Manual, which again is in your members area. Now, this is 200 pages of my dad's entire life, of everything from patient education to how to hire a staff member, how to fire a staff member. He has a whole section at the end on how to think and grow rich, which is from Napoleon, what's his name? Napoleon Hill. But he took it and rewrote it to base it towards chiropractors. So there's a whole program in the back for you to use. There's ideas on doctors' talks. There's ideas on lunch and learns. There's everything that you could possibly want, and an entire section on how to train your CAs. And when we say CA, I don't mean just the one that follows you around. I'm talking front desk staff, back desk staff, insurance girls, whatever you're using at that point. So if you haven't had a chance to look at the Sigafoose Systems Manual, again, a major, major point of your Sigafoose Weekly membership that you really should be using on a daily basis, and at least going through and looking at one page a day. What do you think about that, Chris?
I think it's a great idea.
And in there is tools on how to educate and work with your staff and educate your CAs. There's literally a whole section that's about educating your CAs how to be a better chiropractic assistant. And then the last thing that's in the members area is that 28-day workout plan. Now, I know you might be asking, why did I put this? Well, the primary reason I put that in there is because if we are not focusing on ourselves, and I mean eating right and working out and doing what we need to do, we're not going to have the energy to get where we want to get. And this is a great program that a friend of mine, Chris, another Chris, but from California, who's a personal trainer for all the super wealthy, famous people out in LA. And he put this together, and it's a 28-day program on how to lean yourself up, a quick workout, something that you can do before you go into the office. Because again, if you're not physically fit to go into the office, you're not going to be mentally fit in order to do all the things that you want to do to get there. And this is a really great, easy program. So he normally charges $500 for this program, and I got him to let me offer it to you guys. So, I mean, it's a $500 gift that's sitting in your members area that I implore you all to at least look through, because there's dietary ideas in there. I mean, scheduling, this thing is like 100 pages full of information, and literally a workout journal for you to figure out exactly what to do. It's also interactive, that you click on any of the blue parts on there and it shows you how to do the workout, the exercise. It shows you everything. So don't miss out on that one important part, because you can have all the philosophy in the world, but if you're not physically able to get to that next level, you're blocking yourself from going any further. And that's my opinion, but it's what I've learned over the years. Next area, what was that?
I said that was solid.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
And we've all seen your sexy transformation, Carrie. We've seen the pictures.
I'm a yo-yo, and I'm trying not to be a yo-yo anymore. And if it wasn't for this workout, because I want to get in and get out of the gym. So I'm in and out in 30, 45 minutes, unless I find someone interesting to talk to. But another part of this is now your additional monthly gifts, and I showed you with the higher grounds. And I don't know if any of you have checked it out yet, but I'm going to share this with you. So I'm going to share my screen again. And this is my sister, Selena Sigafoose, that you're seeing here. And I don't know if you can hear it. But this is the higher ground video, the #1 that's in there. And this is all about principle and philosophy. And there's Dad.
Now, there may be some national people in here, and there's a cure for that, so there's no sweat. I had no clue about chiropractic. I had no idea what chiropractic.
And I just wanted to show you a clip of that. And the reason I wanted to show you that clip is because that first video of Higher Grounds is literally about principle and philosophy. And this is another educational tool. You should be taking your staff once a week and watching these videos. Watching them, because they cover everything. Jeez, hold on, let me pull that. Let me look. The whole series, the 6-part series, is #1 is principle and philosophy. #2 of that series is let innate move you. #3 is chiropractic abundance. #4 is act as if, which was one of my father's favorite terms. #4 is the serving CA, which is all about educating the CA at the front desk, in the back, and everything. #5 is the practice, and finally, #6 is I'm sorry, I missed one. Chiropractic abundance. These, again, are educational tools for you to use to educate your patients. I mean, educate your staff. An educated staff is a dedicated staff. An educated staff is going to be able to answer questions of patients that you don't have to answer 500 or 1,000 times over. So use that higher ground. It was, created specifically for for doctor and staff education. And it's yours. It's a part of your membership. So by all means, use it. The next thing I want to talk about is, the additional monthly gifts. So you'll get this over 6 months. Then you're going to get 10 hours of Sigafoose, and then that's going to be over a few months. And then we're going to continue to add stuff. So your membership does not consist of just the consultation calls or the Sigafoose systems manuals. It consists of every single product my father had. Now, I want to emphasize this. If you went and bought every single one of my father's products, you'd be spending close to over $10,000. And you're getting these for, $99 a month. Every month, you're getting consultation calls. You're getting these additional products. And we did this because we wanted this to be for everyone. My father always wanted to reach everyone, and now we are. And with Chris's help, we're doing even more. And the reason I say Chris's name is because I'm going to turn this over to Chris, because there's something else you're getting with this, which is the use of me and the use of Dr. Scott, but you're also going to get the use of Dr. Chris Dr. Chris, sorry, of Chris. Yeah, Dr.
I'll take it. Dr. Chris Burfield, attorney at law.
Yeah, and his marketing stuff. And I'm going to let Chris take it over from here and talk a little bit about what you get from him, because you don't get his full program, because that's like $1 billion a month. But he's going to tell you what you do get him with. So, Chris, take it away.
No, I've been marketing online for since 2006, I guess it was. But I co-owned a very successful chiropractic office as well. I did all the marketing for that practice. I started off as just the backstory real quick. I was a chiropractic assistant for about 6 years, co-owned a practice for 7 years, took it from nothing to a practice that was doing $750,000 a year, sold that my half of the practice in 2010 to start teaching marketing. So what I've done is I've actually created some different marketing programs and systems, and I've sold them online as products to chiropractors to help them grow. I have an entire internal referral marketing system, which this is actually just kind of on the fly, Dr. Carey, but I've got, I'm going to start taking, I normally sell this kit of mine, this referral marketing system, for $600. So what I think I'm going to do, and I'm making this commitment to the Sigafoose Weekly members tonight, that every month we're going to upload one new internal marketing program that they can run. For example, there's one coming up in January called Here Comes Santa Claus. So it's a really neat spin on the traditional toys for tots, which, a lot of chiropractors have done that before in the past, and they've gotten kind of, burned out doing that same thing. Well, I've got a really neat twist to the Toys for Tots program that makes it a lot more exciting. And also it has, generated tens of thousands of dollars for people that have used that program. But I've got 13 different internal marketing systems, our marketing programs, and they're all based around different themes. We're going to start uploading one of those every month. And we'll get that first one uploaded here in November so that docs can start using it in December. So so that's one thing. But the point of all this is that, I study marketing for a living. It's what I do. I'm very passionate about it. I've helped a lot of chiropractors, help a lot of people in their communities over the years. And as a resource to Sigafoose Weekly members, if you have questions about marketing, you can feel free to private message me, or, on Facebook, or send me an email at chris@chrisburfield.com. And I'll do my best to answer those, answer your marketing questions for you. My main thing, I've done a lot of traditional offline stuff marketing, but over the last 9 years, I've really also gotten into marketing practices online. So I have a lot of, advice and strategies that I can share with you as well. So I'm going to, as a Sigafoose Weekly member, you get access to ask me any questions you have about marketing your practice.
Awesome. Wow, that's great. You're going to put that in the members area?
Yeah, we're going to put it in the members area. So we'll start with the Here Comes Santa Claus promotion. We'll get that up sometime here in the next 3 to 5 days. So there's actually a video tutorial that comes with it, and there are all sorts. So each program has a video tutorial. So you or your staff, you can actually just hand it off to your marketing person, and you can say, hey, or your CA or whoever does the internal stuff for you, and say, hey, you got to watch this video, and whatever Chris says in the video, I want you to go implement. It's kind of neat. Well, a doctor that bought my program a couple of years ago, he sent me an email, and he said, Chris, he goes, I just wanted to let you know that we just ran your Super Bowl promotion. And he said, we generated 25 new patients from it. He's like, we made almost $20,000 off of that program. And he goes, it was just absolutely insane. I said, well, that's awesome. I said, tell me a little bit more about it. And he goes, well, to be honest with you, I have no idea what happened. I just gave the program to my CAs and I said, hey, run with this. And when I came in on Monday, the office was decorated like for the Super Bowl. There was streamers and balloons everywhere and all that stuff. So he's like, I really couldn't tell you what happened. All I know is that it worked and I wanted to share it with you. So, but you can take this. It's so simple. I break everything down in a video tutorial, but I also give you all the gift certificates, all the patient education handouts, the flyers, and anything that goes along with that program. So you guys will start getting access to that as well.
Awesome. With that, I also want to let you know that you also get Dr. Scott Petrello, who's on here. He's not just a member of Sigafoose Weekly. He's also one of our I guess you want to call sort of a consultant. And all you have to do is, get in touch with him. He's on the Sigafoose Weekly Facebook page. And he's there for you to bounce questions off about your practice, again, your successes and your failures. And you also have me. You can get in touch with me at any time. There's several people that are on Sigafoose Weekly. I shouldn't say several. It's more like about 10 of you now that I talk to on a weekly basis. And, we work through some of the issues that you're having. Believe it or not, when I say that we learn from our successes and our failures, I've had a lot of failures. And I've learned from these mistakes, and I've grown from them, and I've had the lifetime of living with my father, but a past year of studying his products and his talks. And, if you're having any problems with anything, we are available to you. So take advantage of that. My number, I put it on. You can get it anywhere. It's 443-619-8770. And you can, call me whenever you like. Here, I'm putting it down there for you. There you go. So there's that. And now there's one other thing I want to talk to you about at the bottom of my little list I have here is Voxer. Now, Voxer is a free program that you can get for your smartphone, and it's like a walkie-talkie, but for your smartphone, and you can leave messages. So it's one of the quickest ways to get in touch with me when I'm out and about, because I'm not always checking my Facebook, whether you guys believe it or not, because it does seem like I'm on here all the time. But if you get Voxer, download it for free, and then upload all the members that are on there to it. It'll upload your social media contacts if you let it, and you can walkie-talkie us. It's 10 to 50 seconds. Leave a message. You have a question about anything for me, for Chris, for Dr. Scott, for anyone. We'll get back in touch with you as soon as we possibly can. I mean, we're not one thing focused on customer service. So, we want you guys to have the best program you can possibly have. And just so you know, that's Voxer with a V. Yeah. V is in Victor, Oxer. Yep, and it's on in your app store, whoever phone that you can download. It's an app, right? You just download it to your phone. Yeah, and it's free. You don't have to pay for any of it, which is I love free. Last few things before I open it up to questions is again, I want to repeat the Sigafoose.com and the blog, and why it's so important to share those articles. That blog is completely free. Use those articles. And if you see Chris print anything up that has to do with marketing, copy it, share it, print it. It's using marketing information that works. It's using chiropractic philosophy that's out there that isn't some guy who's just deciding he wants to sell a new program. It's 60 years of chiropractic education under my father's tutelage. This is stuff that's been around forever. I'm not creating anything new. I'm just editing it and digitizing it. And then the sigtalks.com. And, you know, that's such an important tool, not just for you to listen to, but for your staff. Now, I might say something that might be a little bit harsh here, but if you are not educating your staff and they're saying they don't want to do it, then you need to get new staff members.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. You know, you don't ask your staff to do something. You tell your staff, you're doing this. It's part of your job. You need to understand the philosophy. I had one, she worked for me one day, and she sat up the front, and she had a bottle of Tylenol sitting at the front desk when patients come in. It was floored me, and I knew it was my fault, but I asked her to put it away, and she said no, and so I fired her. Thank God I'm in Maryland, and it's a right to work state. I didn't have to ask any questions. But you know, if you're trying to put the philosophy out there of what chiropractic is, and you're trying to tell your patients that they need to give their body the proper rest, food, diet, nutrition, exercise, you got to live the what was it? Live the talk and talk the walk, or something like that. I'm so
talk the talk and walk the walk.
Yes, exactly. Good. Dr. Ken's downloading it right now. That's pretty much everything that we have right now as far as the Sigafoose. I shouldn't say all we have. It's a lot. And as you can see with now the downloading of Chris's marketing concepts, every month we're growing. Every month I'm trying to add to that members area. And you know, with Christmas right around the corner, you guys are going to find a couple gifts in your members area from me, well, from my father. So keep an eye out for that. Also, I'm going to ask you guys to do us a favor. Is we have my father's book, Good Medicine, that's out there. That's for free, and my father's new book, Abundance for Chiropractors. You guys don't have to worry about buying the products in there, but download the Abundance book and download the Sigafoose Good Medicine book if you haven't already. What was that?
I'm gonna put the link here in the chat. It's sigafoose.clickfunnels.com/ebook.
Download.
Actually, this is the Abundance for Chiropractors book that's free right now.
Yep.
So there it is. Awesome. And then there is the Good Medicine one, but I don't remember the link for that. So
Scott gave him your phone number. Scott does not know how to use dashes in between his numbers. 330-881-0711. So there's that.
Dr. Scott, my lucky number is 308, and there it is.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Illuminati. Yeah. On a side note, Chris, you got to watch Agent X. It's all about a new television show, all about the Illuminati. So.
Oh, is it really? All right.
I know one of our fearless leaders here. Yeah, Chris is an Illuminati nut. So if there's a conspiracy theory out there, he knows about it, and he could probably use about it. So, does anyone have any questions for either Dr. Scott, myself, or Chris? If you do, by all means, just go ahead and dump them into that question area. We're hitting right on 30 minutes, 31 minutes we've been on now, and I don't want to keep you guys any longer than you need on this late Thursday night.